It's Friday. Welcome to Barn Burner. Ryan Pinder here. Rhett Warner, Buffalo. Sir, you look bundled. It was a foggy doggy this morning. We still have some fog in Calgary, which is rare. What are we looking at in the Queen City?
It's actually gorgeous right now, but this morning was the coldest I'd seen the temperature get for the drive to school. It was about 3 or 4.
Okay. All right. It's getting real.
Yeah.
We're starting to get some Bills weather there for you, huh?
Crisp.
Did you, we just had news break before the show here regarding your Bills. Daniel Jones ruled out. Tyrod Taylor going to start for the Giants, and it was Bills by 14.5 before they went away from Danny Dimes to Tyrod Taylor. What's the setup for the game this weekend?
I feel like Tyrod Taylor not a Bill?
I feel like he was absolutely a Bill. That's right. And then he went to San Diego. He famously got that needle in the chest from a doctor, and that put Justin Herbert into the Chargers lineup in like the first or second week of the year as a rookie, rather than he was going to like wait and watch for half a season.
Learn from
Tyrod got a punctured lung.
It's not funny, actually.
It would suck a lot, but he definitely helped
the
path of stardom for Justin Herbert. So forever a Charger. And apparently now a Giant.
I'm actually to the point with this game.
Yeah.
I haven't bought tickets because I wasn't sure I can go, and now I'm even more hesitant because I'm like, is it worth spending a couple $100 to go watch 2 quarters of football and leave?
I feel like if you keep watching those prices, they're going to come back to earth a bit, because I think what you're thinking is what a lot of people are thinking. A, it's a blowout. B, is it going to be an entertaining game? And you just told me that it's starting to get cold. Like there'll be people there. It'll be a lovely crowd, but I don't know that this is the reseller's dream. This is not exactly like, Kansas City visiting on a prime time, right?
I guess we'll wait and see. Wait till game day to see what the tickets do.
Very good. How's the family? You said school drop-offs good? The shoveler and Rob are having tea right now. What's going on?
Yeah, I was just over at Rob Ray's house discussing minor hockey.
Okay.
And the shit attitude that all children own and possess in the teenage years.
Man, it's good. You're really turning into like the old man shakes fist at cloud. I really enjoy it. And we all are. It's not like, hey, old guys are stupid. Like, we all turn into old guys. We all eventually shake our fist. The kids these days, Beethoven's music is too noisy.
You wait and see.
It's happening.
It's
already.
It's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
The level of brilliance that these teenagers believe they have.
They sure do know a lot. Mine are only 8, but God, I feel like they're at a teenage level of knowing everything.
It's
quite impressive. Yes. Yeah, the know-it-alls. And coming from a know-it-all, I mean, really impressive stuff.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun arguing.
I am.
Kids. Can you imagine?
My dad just smiles. He's like, "Oh, look what you're going to have to deal with. Isn't that karma?" Huh? Oh, God. Well, Shoveler, Rob Ray, and you are the thruple is what I'm pitching. I don't know if you guys are into it or not. Sounds like the Shoveler's in. What do you do at Christmas with a thruple? Are you good to shell out for 2 diamonds from Vina Nova? Do you think you could financially get that done? Or maybe it's you and Rob, you go 50-50 on something for the
feel like if it's a thruple, then he's got to kick in. And that's typically not his move. So
right. So could you go splitsies with him, you think, on a gift? Because that could save you. You're already going to save money with a lab-grown diamond versus the mine diamond, as much as, like 20% the cost of a mine diamond. So you're talking like 80% less. But now you might even split that in half with Rob. I think this is a win. Let's go. And it's a win for the shoveler.
For half the shoveler's gifts, I'm in for whatever's going on.
Vina Nova is Calgary's lab-grown diamond specialist, the only store in Calgary that is exclusively lab-grown diamonds in store, and the largest selection of loose lab-grown diamonds and jewelry in the city. For savings is up to as much as 80% off. Are you kidding me? That's unreal. Visit vinanova.com. Vinanova.com. You can see it in the screen. VENANOVA.com, or check out their downtown showroom, second level of Stephen Avenue Place. What is a lab-grown diamond? Well, it's exact same composition as a real diamond. It's just grown in a lab, not hauled out of the ground, Rhett. Some dirty ground diamond. Come on now.
Niners.
Christmas is coming. Get ready. And if you got something custom going on, I know there's people have New Year's Eve weddings. There are proposals. It is a great time of year. Families around if you want to propose. If you've got something you want to get custom made, give it 4 or 5 weeks, which means get that ball rolling right now. Vinanova.com for more. Sabres game last night. They opened the season with expectations, and I think you nailed it on the head earlier, because what I've been reading about them from the people I trust is exactly what you said, which is this is a young team, a fun team, an explosive offensive team at times. They still haven't figured out their own zone.
No, they've got no clue what to do in their own zone, and they got a rookie goaltender that they're going to rely on that hasn't played a bunch of hockey, college schedule guy, which is fine, talented. Apparently plays a lot like Wolf, very active in the net.
And smaller guys. I know that the Flames were interested in Levi when it was his draft year. He also played World Juniors for Canada. And the thought was, well, we've already got one guy that, has to beat the odds with size. I don't know that we need to collect another. I would always say just collect good players. But there was a thought that, maybe let's try to find a monster to go with our vertically challenged netminder. He's only 6 feet, Rhett. He's just tiny.
Tiny little fella.
Yeah, little fella. So Levi, he came over in that deal with Florida. I don't know if it was the Reinhardt or the Montour, one of those swaps.
Montour.
And nice little throw in, because they got a bunch of picks in those 2 deals as well. And the Sabres might have a goalie there. But for a rookie behind a team that defensively ain't great, and last night, the Rangers, they exposed that maybe the Sabres aren't great at defending.
They're not a great... And that's the thing. People here are very excited about the Sabres. They got those 2 defensemen signed up, and they do have they've got a nice basket of goods.
Yep.
They're not there. They're not there. They need some seasoning. They need, I hate saying it because it's a cheap shot, but they've got a fourth line that's similar to the Flames' fourth line last year.
Yeah.
And that Zemgus Girgensons and Kyle Okposo and stuff. Good people, hard enough workers, solid individuals, good community, but have a hard time getting her done, right?
So. I hear you. It's one of those things where, okay, you've got the young players. Now we have to learn how to win, because when you have no expectations and you're young and we scored 5 one night. Hey, everyone thought we'd lose 80 games. We were 500, but it's a whole different kettle of wax now. If you got to make the playoffs in that division with a Boston, Toronto, Florida, and the Tampa Bay, those teams know how to win. So you're going to have to up your game a bit on that front. Okay. New lines at Flames practice yesterday.
Ooh, again, new lines.
And there'll be some conversation points here. Steinberg bomb, Pat bomb. Here we go. Top line the same as it ended on Wednesday's opener. Huberdeau with Lindholm in the middle and Mangiapane on the right side. Why not? That big goal that ended up being the game winner inside the last 2 minutes. Your boy Rosie playing to Kadri's left, Coronado on his right. Dubé slides in on the Backlund line. You know what you're getting from that line. Doesn't really seem to matter. If it's Backlund and Coleman, put someone else in there. You know what you're getting. And the fourth line now, Greer, Sharon Govich at center ice. And Walker there. How's it going for old Go-Go? And look, we have a visitor here just in time for our Sharon Govich demotion conversation. Hello there, Dino.
Hello, man. How are we doing?
How was Ringette this morning? Get us up to speed.
Early start, nail biter, a 5-all tie against Red Deer. You always Red Deer's tough. It's a good Ringette town. You got to pack a lunch. You got to be ready. You got to, when you're playing Red Deer, you got to beat the team, the refs, the music band. Yeah. It's tough. You got to beat everybody. So we'll take the 5-5 tie and move on. Strathmore coming up later today.
So. They're not breaking ties. Hey, what's up with that? Everyone's okay with the tie?
No, we're okay. The kid was okay today. Yeah.
And still in the
heavily outshot.
Do you do a shootout in Ringette?
No.
Ever?
It's a different thing because you can really control that ring.
Yeah.
It's different than a puck. You just
I know, but if you're in a tournament and it's the championship final and you're out of ice time, what do you do?
It's a good question. I don't know. We've not. I'm really up to speed on my ringette.
Well, you're getting there.
Kids involved. You should try.
I'm still at the point where the whistle will go. I'll talk to one of the dads. Like, what the hell was that? What did they do there? Oh, too many in the box. Whatever it is. Okay, let's go, girls. Really try your best. Yeah, give it a go.
So you got Red Deer in the morning, Strathmore this afternoon.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And then more tomorrow, and then more on Sunday. I don't know what we got, but
I have a horrible turn of events for Sunday. It looked really promising, and it's actually just a sneak attack. So we had a 6:30 ice time Sunday morning.
Oh,
That's a 5:30 wake up with the fellas to get there, to get them dressed, because they're donkeys once you get them in that room. It takes a full half hour for them to get going. And our team manager somehow found an ice swap, and we got moved to Saturday afternoon. We're like, oh, that's unbelievable. That's great. Manager of the year. And now it's like, sweet, I've got my whole Sunday to watch football. Oh, the Sunday practice was canceled. Let's go to the mountains for a hike. It's so beautiful this time of year.
got to work.
Yeah, you got
that red zone window was just sitting there.
I got to work.
Perfect.
Babe, I can't not watch football. What am I?
There's work to do.
No. We don't have any open Sundays in hockey season. Absolutely, we're going.
Oof. For a hike.
Lay down the law.
Don't like the vibes, fellas.
Although you did just scamper off on Thanksgiving weekend.
Unnecessarily.
She's scampering off in next week for 5 days. This is how we roll.
Scampering.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Scamper to the desert.
It's a different kettle of wax.
Yeah,
Whatever
well,
you say,
right?
kettle of fish.
I was going to wait till
All
the end of
wax.
the day to bring that
I
up.
saw your face going like, yeah.
I always do that, and that's a redism. I've done that
It's
like
a
5
redism.
times. I don't know why that one I always
What's
get
the
wrong.
combo there?
It's a ball of wax or kettle of
Yes.
fish, right?
That's
what
correct,
I'm missing.
yeah.
up?
Yeah.
It's
But
a ball of
even
fish.
kettle of
Steve.
fish is
Different ball of fish.
It's a whole new kettle of fish
Mm.
or a ball of wax.
The kettle of fish is vague to me. I don't recall this one very often.
I've never had a kettle of fish. I don't know what that's alluding to.
Should get Jack on it. Jack, what the hell's a kettle of fish? What
Jack?
are we, why are we calling it a kettle of fish?
I
It's
have
a kettle,
no
I'm
idea.
guessing is well, I don't expect you to, Jesus Christ, Jack. I don't expect you to know off the top of your head. I'm going to do some digging, get some Googling going, you know?
Your research, Jack. Come on.
Google that shit.
And why a ball of
GTS.
wax? A ball.
GTS, Jack, Christ.
What, wax isn't a ball now? I didn't know that. Come on.
Oh,
That doesn't make sense.
coming about
How's
you.
Jack doing? Is he better today? Because he was no good yesterday.
Hungover.
His
guys.
hair's been on
Hungover.
fire.
I'm good.
Yeah. He's worried about just a game coming. He's like, he might get Kurt might unload 6 pallets of work for him here. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Back to the lines real quick. Boom. Quick reaction to Sharon Govich centering the 4th line apparently at skate yesterday. How's it going early, Igor?
So you've been on all the lines
Actually.
and on all now it's all positions, defense next.
It's funny because he started on the top line and then he did the second and the middle 6. And now, like, has he played his way to the 4th, or are they just trying to find out what he is?
We love his multi-use abilities.
Oh, very versatile.
Swiss Army knife, boys. That's what you
versatility.
want. You
Yes.
got guys that can do it all, up and down the lineup. We hear it all the time. Guy can play
Yes.
up and down the lineup.
Wasn't this the Andrew Walker, Paul Byron? He can play on any line. You're like, you probably should be on your 4th line if you're good.
So he was on the right side with Lindholm and Huberdeau, and then was
Yeah.
on the left side
Kadri and Coronado.
with Kadri, and now it's in the middle with
Yeah.
Dewar and Greer.
And he was on the left of Backlund before as well. So
Does Depot have some pads there? Because maybe he'll be backing up Markstrom on the road trip.
When Tanev goes down, we got a guy.
Yeah,
Well, he can skate.
Oh,
He
he
can
can
really
skate.
skate, boys.
yeah.
I think it's safe to say they're all trying to figure out what he is. I think he's
What?
going to kill
Somebody makes
penalties
an
for
effing
sure.
statement and just here, this is what I am. You don't have to worry about it. I'll tell you and show you. That would be good.
Well, let me ask you this then: is it how much of this is Sharon Govich going to the middle, and how much is it Ruzicka going back in the wing? Because they've tried this Ruzicka on the wing thing.
Yep.
I wonder if
Especially with
that's
skill, right?
if they see that for him to be effective, he can't be driving the line. He can't.
But
be doing
why
it
would
all
you put him
himself.
up on that second line? Is that
Well,
why-
when he's worked with skill on the wing, remember last year he had that like 10-game segment where he had like 8 to 12 points or something crazy. You're like, Jesus, is Ruzicka a top 9 guy all of a sudden, like top 6 even? And then they put him on the 4th line. He disappeared again. So I don't mind putting Ruzicka with skill if he's going to move. And look, maybe it's a 4th line in name, but if you've got Dewar and Sharon Govich, those are 2 of your best skaters. AJ Greer
it's
doesn't.
the 4th line.
It's the 4th line
But
because
if
it's
they
not
wanna
Backlund's
be-
line, and it's
Look
not
off
Kadri's
of
line.
last year's attempt at a
It's-
4th line.
Let me
and
rephrase that. It's absolutely the 4th line. But if it wants
is,
to be the fastest moving line, I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah, if you want to be that. And congrats to Nazem, who again, here's
More
another
new guys.
mixed bag. We're just trying some stuff. Gosh, do you think I could be like Backlund and just have Coleman at like at least one guy all the time? We'll see.
And I think Kadri's part of this equation too. What's it going to
Mhm.
take? What's the right fit to get this guy going? He
Wouldn't
was
mind
not the most
seeing
noticeable
him
guy on
be
Wednesday
involved.
for someone that's in all the promos for Hockey Night. And it's Kadri against McDavid on the 29th outdoors. Like, Need you.
That might be what he needs to be, though. And I'm not even joking. It might be a situation where Kadri needs a matchup. Here's your role. Shut down McDavid. Not that that's possible, but you know what I mean? Like, okay, you're going up against this guy. Take him down. He gets nothing, right?
Retro, he might be one of those guys, right? We've talked about it over the years that too often players go out there and they don't really know what their role is. And I wonder for a guy like Kadri, so what's your role? Are you supposed to lead the team in scoring? Are you a goal scorer? Are you a playmaker? Are you a shutdown guy? Are you a leader? Are you the captain? You're not the captain. I wonder if there is a little bit of that, trying to find him an identified role. Here's at the end of 60 minutes, if you accomplish this, that's an effective and successful night for you.
The only problem with this whole thing is you've got two of them. Him and Backlund. Backlund serves the same.
Oh, I think Backlund, you know exactly what you're getting. Like that's
I know, but is Backlund not the guy that you expect to be up against other teams? Top
exactly.
So that eliminate. So then, okay, Kadri, you're a scorer. I don't know if he is a scorer.
So we know what the top line's supposed to do and how they're going to get used. We know how the Backlund line is going to be used and what they're supposed to do. I think, what are you? Are you a second scoring line? Because if you are, start scoring. And maybe if you are, maybe Ruzicka's a guy that does distribute the puck a little better than Sharon Govich for people like Coronado and Kadri to his right.
I'll say this. You know what? I like that they're trying stuff. I like that they put Mangiapane on that line, that he deserves another look. Okay. And the reason I see you're grimacing, the reason I say that is because I don't think anything else looks like you're not breaking up something that I feel should. How can you break that lineup?
Yeah.
Backlund and Coleman, you stay together. Kadri, let's find a role. Ruzicka, probably not a center. If you, like you say, last year you had some points on a wing, give it a go. Coronado has to be in the top 6 somewhere. So I kind of see
you're describing something as a positive that I'm going to describe as a negative. Is that the fact that they've not?
No, you're right, Rhett.
What they are.
If they had, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman, and you never needed to think about it. I guess the best example would be when you had Tkachuk, Lindholm, Gaudreau. Like, are you ever switching around the top line? God, no. Because you got a hard and fast first line. We're not quite there with this group, but it's early. It's a new coach. Let them try to find stuff. And they scored 5 in the first game, right?
Till November comes around.
Well, it's game. They played once, so
put that lineup back up, Jack.
I was going to say,
you know what?
There's one other little swap
get
too.
This shit dealt with. Let's make this happen here, fellas. Clearly it's going to come back to us and getting that. If they would just, I'm sure they're listening again. Quit monkeying with this stuff. We'll set it for you. What do we got? I'm putting Kadri, Huberdeau, and Mangiapane together.
Okay.
They did a lot of Kadri Huberdeau last year.
Yeah. So figure it out.
And Dean, you're a big let Huberdeau cook with Lindholm for a while here, guy. So you won't like that move.
I'm putting Lindholm and Coronado together. Absolutely. And I'm only worried about 2 because I think the rest of these dopes have to figure out to how to play a role on the line.
What if you swapped Mangiapane and Coronado? And I don't mean tomorrow, because he just scored. But I would love to see Coronado with Lindholm, Huberdeau. The best finisher in the top 6, probably, right?
The reason I'm saying Kadri and Huberdeau is because if Kadri is going to score, he needs to play with someone that's going to help him score.
Yeah.
And if Backlund's our shutdown guy, that's fine. Then give Kadri Huberdeau, because I think Lindholm and Coronado can find their own magic.
All right.
Yeah. I feel like you're over tinkering already. I feel like give Huberdeau and Lindholm a chance to either prove you right or prove you wrong.
Yeah. If it's going to work, it's going to be really good. So you got to give it a chance.
We're not going to force it for 50 games. Let's try it for 10 and see where we're at. With Mangiapane, Ruzicka, Kadri, it feels a little plodding to me. Just kind of which is not to say Coronado brings great speed to that line to change things around. I don't know about just with Rosie. I don't know. I don't know where you put him.
Well, and it's like, what Rosie are you getting?
Like,
let's be honest. The consistency's been an issue right since his draft class. That's why I went in the 4th round. Guys with his skills at 6'3" don't get drafted in the 4th round unless there's a major blemish. The blemish is the massive inconsistency in this game.
Now, fellas, we could talk about the top. Let's get to the blue line. There's Gilbert back on the third pair. Denis Gilbert's
Buffalo's own.
With
They got to get
Tanev.
him. They got to get his legs loose before he gets to Buffalo on Thursday
He's
next
going
week.
to have a big showing in Buffalo, boys. It's going to be great. The Gilbert clan will be there. Big family here in Buffalo.
Oh,
Massive.
Yeah.
Fighting a goal. He's going Gordie Howe hat trick in Buffalo. Can we find that on Betway for next Thursday?
Can take the boys to the country club, play some golf. Oh, baby.
Yeah. To me,
That is interesting. What are your thoughts, Dino?
well, what was our main takeaway from the game the other night? It wasn't so much the line combos. It was Markstrom was really good, and they gave up way too many shots and chances.
Stop turning over the puck in your own zone.
Hey, Hanifin, work it out. Be better. Zadorov, Uyghur, still not sure.
Yeah.
And let's as a group tighten up.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to win games with that recipe from the other night.
I predict,
you won the other night, but you're not going to win games out.
I predict you say that the rest of the year.
Well,
you don't think this group can look better defensively, Rhett?
They could be surely
better.
better.
I just think it's a trend in the game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll look at the Penguins lines later because they're playing them tomorrow. But like, you have 4 defensemen better than most teams have in this league for a top 4. Like Tanev, Uyghur, Hanifin, Anderson. Those are
better
all
than
very
most
good
teams.
Yes, absolutely. Most teams do not have a 4th defenseman as good as the worst of those guys, whoever you think it is. Their number 4 is better than most teams' number 4. Now, I don't love the Zadorov thing in the second pair, and maybe they'll swap that out. But if Chris Tanev's your 4th best defenseman, you're better than a lot of teams. Like,
that's not how it works.
No, but I'm just saying they're deep at
the
defense.
4th best defenseman's better. We have a 4th best defenseman in the league, is what you're saying. A top 5 4th best defenseman.
What I'm saying is that their top 2 pairs are a very solid top 4 and better than most of the teams that they're up against as bubble teams in the West. Like,
is it possible we're back to where we were when Hamonic came in? And we were convinced this team was just so solid defensively with Bouwmeester. Like, look at this D. Mike Smith's not going to see any pucks. How's he going to play? I don't know if I agree with you, to be honest. And I'll give it time, but I think Hanifin is okay. Anderson is right.
Listen,
now you love Hanifin.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Just saying, he's 25 minutes a night. How many guys are you cupping in the league doing that with? He skates brilliantly. He's not going to run power play, but he's a 2-3.
Can we replay?
Thank God you're here, Retro. Thank God you're here.
Look, I would say this. Watching them on Wednesday, I think they'll be much better defensively because I believe they have the personnel to be a good defensive club. The very same crew practically 2 years ago allowed the fewest amount of goals at even strength in the whole league.
He's TJ Brody light.
Who is?
You would always say that about Hanifin.
Oh, yeah, I think they're pretty similar. They skate.
You know, Hanifin is what he is. He's played it. He's 800 games, but he's not getting any better. He turns the play. He can skate and he can play a lot of minutes, but what is he? What is Noah Hanifin? What is he?
He's a 2-3. He's a 2-3 all day. Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's one of the best defensemen in the National Hockey
No one
League.
has said that.
I'm just shocked that you
stop twisting my words.
Because I don't see this D core in the same regard.
Okay, so do you want to see Pittsburgh's top 4? Like, do you want to see Edmonton's top 4? Like, do you want to see Vancouver's top 4? I'm just saying, like, they don't have a legit number 1 stud, but Uyghur and Anderson are very good players that I think can run first power play units and have certainly
they're good players. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have 4 top 4 defensemen. Most teams don't really.
They're not all stars. They're not Norris candidates.
No one has said they are. I'm not saying
they are NHL caliber. They're good NHL caliber defensemen. You're making it sound like the Flames boast this incredible top 4 that most teams can't have. Their 4th is better than most teams' 4th defenseman, is what you're saying.
I am saying that.
I don't agree.
So go find me a team in the division that has better 4th defenseman than these guys.
No, it's the division. You said.
Well, I'm just like, where do you want to compare? I don't want to give you a list of 31 teams to go look at, but like they're top.
You said most teams. I didn't. If you were talking division,
better than Vancouver's. Like, okay, Vegas will give you the nod in division, but who else in the division has a better top 4?
Well, you didn't say division. You just made it sound league-wide that this top 4 was better than most teams' top 4
in the division. Anyone? Vegas is.
Vegas for sure. Yeah. LA maybe. I haven't seen how they. They made a.
But that's the other thing is you underestimate other players. Other teams.
Well,
players, right?
I mean, Cody,
but come on, don't argue just to make sure your point is right. Be realistic about it. Like, even if you look at Buffalo, like, how do you measure it? If you've got Pittsburgh, If you've got Carlson, is he as good as two of your defensemen?
Well, we have the
Because he's
Pittsburgh
playing
decor.
30 minutes a night.
Yeah, I mean, I just worry about if you have Letang and Carlson in your top four. Those are two
I'm not
players that
saying I
struggle
like
in their
it.
own
I'm just
zone.
saying
Yeah.
to counter.
Like, throw up the Pittsburgh D here, because there's like, yeah, is Marcus Pettersson better than any of the four guys the Flames have? In the
I don't
top
know
four?
four of them,
No.
but they might be.
Right? Like, and again, it's like in Edmonton, it's the same thing. Like Bouchard, great offensive player, struggles mightily in his own zone. I think the Flames top two pairs, if they put them together, are very solid defensively, to the point where maybe you only take Vegas's blue line in the division over them. Maybe LA.
Defensively.
But, yeah. And so when I watch them on Wednesday and I see them loose defensively, I'm not saying there's a problem here. I'm saying there's lots of room for improvement. That's my point here. Not that we should be, planning a ticker tape parade and handing out Norris's D.
Well, my whole argument about all of it is whether they're a top 5 or a top 10 defensive core, blah, blah, blah. I think the style of hockey that's played in the NHL is, and without Sutter there, is that Huska's approach is the same style as Sutter? Because 2 years ago don't mean shit if they're trying to play a different style of game.
And they've gone to that sort of more zone defending rather than man to man. You're not going to see forwards dragging their D-men up to the point. So how is that still a work in progress? Where are we at there? I just think there's room for improvement because they look shitty defensively.
Oh, I'm on board with that. There's no question. That's how it all kind of started.
Yeah.
Be better defensively from forwards, D, everybody. Markstrom saved your bacon the other night. You're not going to win games being that loose. So be better. They're capable of more for sure.
Okay. So that is the beginning of the road trip. We'll get into that in a moment.
The whole kettle of wax.
Whole kettle of wax, Retro.
Of ball wax.
That whole bucket of
fish. Put it
fish.
in a kettle, it probably rounds into a ball.
Saturday and Sunday, Thoroughbreds, Century Downs. Dino and I were out there a couple weeks ago. Kid friendly, and the big, strong, fast horses. Dino, the Thoroughbreds.
Take your kids and your
September,
wife to
October. Let's go.
I could be a jockey. Hey?
I mean, I didn't want to go there, but you couldn't be a jockey.
I could be a jockey, sure.
You need to shed 120 pounds, and then
jeez,
do you know how tiny these humans are?
120.
They're specialists. They might not weigh 120.
Bastard.
You look
These
great,
guys are they're riding the bike in the sauna if they get to 119 for an hour. They're doing the Chris Chelios in the sauna trying to get down to 110.
They're not ever 119. If they have 3 digits, numbers, they're too heavy.
Yes. So I'm sorry about your dreams. You can go for horseback rides in the summer in the mountains. You cannot be a jockey, Dean.
You're more of a Western style.
Yeah.
That's right.
You
could be a roper. You could be a steer.
I don't think I could. I could
steer wrestle, Dean. Absolutely.
Be way too hard. That's a long
Do some
long drop off of the horse to get down to the ground. I twist an ankle.
You're gonna get bucked anyway. Can you imagine your hamstring snapping when you fell off that hard? Pop! Oh,
yeah. Calves running around. I'm like, pull a hammy. Guys start roping me.
Calves roping you. Live
so get the Century Downs,
Saturday and Sunday, post time 12:45. Tons of fun. We were out there, and if the weather's looking just okay, don't worry. They got a covered area, restaurant, bar, kid friendly. The casino's right there. It's don't worry about the weather. Rain or shine, the ponies will run. Watch, wager, eat, drink with your friends, and entertainment you won't find anywhere else. Again, Saturday and Sunday at Century Downs.
Kathy will be there taking your bets.
Oh, she was lovely. Every time I make a bet, she's like, best of luck. I love it.
Awesome.
Like, just so positive. Let's go get him.
We're really going to do it this time.
Come on, Lollipop Kid. I'm rooting for him too.
Right. Yeah. It was awesome.
It was very good. Ton of fun. I would be a jockey if I wasn't busy coaching the Stanley Cup favorite. Okay, Jay Woodcross back in the chat.
Spelling is terrible too.
Focus on your team, Jay.
Jesus, Jay. You're going to have to learn how to spell Stanley Cup and
tighten up.
Name on it. Schedule is this, fellas. 5-game road trip. I want you to look, and I want you to tell me which team they're playing on this road trip is absolutely a playoff team. Pittsburgh on Saturday, Washington on Monday, Buffalo Thursday, Columbus Friday, Detroit Sunday. I don't think there's a sure thing in there, fellas.
Which is too bad for Pittsburgh.
It is. I mean,
when you have that kind of talent, you absolutely should be considered a Stanley Cup. a playoff team, right? It's
Yeah, when we get to the Pinder Report, we'll look at the lineup. They definitely have star power and guys on the back nine that are superstars and going to the Hall. It's not necessarily the deepest, youngest, pluckiest club out there.
how many goals for Matthew Phillips on Monday?
I haven't seen the Betway stuff yet, but it's a guaranteed slam dunk for the anytime goal.
It's an anytime goal guarantee. Damn.
Yeah. If he got to 20 or 25, are we crazy, or is that a reasonable expectation for a guy that's led
25 goals? That feels high.
20 to 25. Does it feel high? Yeah.
15
Okay.
would be a great.
Oh, if he gets 15,
God,
I worry for him if he gets 15.
it's tough because I want him to do well. But if he gets 15, it's going to be a.
That's fine. We got Walker.
Could have had both. Didn't need to be exclusive.
Listen,
you could have
Yeah,
both.
I don't remember Connie picking between those two.
We can't have too many good things.
We got the Rune Dog on the IR, but we can't have Philly.
At half price practically.
Christ.
Yeah, I don't remember who I read. They're like, my bold pick of the year, 20 plus for Phillips. And I'm like, oh, that would hurt so much here. He was right there.
Paul Byron.
Right there.
You know
Paul
what?
Byron earlier today.
Watch him. They'll have him out 3-on-3 overtime and crush teams.
Torching people, just like he did against Pasternak in the preseason. And look, if you're actually going to use him properly, isn't he he's absolutely on a power play unit.
Yeah, he's power play.
Yeah, but if he's on a power play unit, who's shooting a fucking puck in Washington?
Ovi, so he'll catch a couple backdoor rebounds. Let's go.
Yeah, who else they got that can shoot the puck?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ovi. We got this kid.
You seen this guy?
So there's the sked. We'll throw it up again, Jacko. Pittsburgh tomorrow on hockey night. That's a 5:00 start. It's 5s the whole way through the trip until the finale, which is a 3:00 Sunday game against Detroit. Retro, they've got a few days in Buffalo here. They play Monday and not again until Thursday.
Buy me supper.
Now, how would you feel if you were in 2004, let's say, sliding through and you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday game in Buffalo?
I'd feel pretty good because I was still single.
Oh, yeah. He's got the trap line going there still. Okay, let me rephrase that.
What do you mean?
If you had not just played in Buffalo and had 18 girlfriends waiting, how would you have felt about 2 days in Buffalo for an off day?
It would be freaking miserable.
I mean, maybe I haven't called, but
you know what? At least it's October and not January, where it might be nice out a little bit.
I think about you all the time. What do you mean? Come on.
I'm just excited to get back to town. I got a 2-hour window on Wednesday.
Don't be like that. You know you're special to me. Don't know. Babe.
Hold on, I got a call coming through on the other line. How many points do they need out of 10 here? What would make you happy? Again, my point being, these aren't bad teams, but
let's see it again, Jacko. Throw it up for us.
All these teams could miss the playoffs. They all did last year, I believe.
Let's take a peek.
They missed, but they were all close.
That's right.
Except that
so
one.
It's kind of like a middle of the Eastern Conference. There's none of the top teams, none of the bottom teams. Maybe Columbus is a bottom.
So let's start here. Where is Vladar playing? You got Thursday, Friday.
I would love him to get one of the two Pittsburgh Washingtons, but if Markey's feeling it, you know how that goes.
Didn't he win in Washington a couple years ago?
Yeah. I could see him getting Washington and Columbus.
If you give him Washington, Markstrom plays Saturday and doesn't until Thursday. That's a nice break.
Yeah. They'll have an off day in there too. I'd love to see two Vladars in there, fellas. I would.
Okay. Let's, for argument's sake, say Washington, Columbus are the two Vladar starts.
That's max. It might only be Columbus, but sure.
Yeah. I don't think you're overmatched anywhere. I think they're competitive games with Pittsburgh and Washington, and then it's how are we feeling? How's the road treating you? Buffalo's a wild card to me because we talked about it before you got on, Dean. Lots of talent, very young offensive capabilities, and a mess defensively so far.
Tuesday at the Steer. Oh, did they close the Steer?
What are you talking? The Steer?
Yeah.
You had a bull riding bar? Western place?
Maybe my favorite bar ever.
Really? How have we not heard about this place more? Dean, the Steer?
Have not heard of the Steer, no. I'm going to say they're going to get 5 of 10.
You got to do better than that here.
You got to get 6 of 10 too.
Yeah, it's 6+ for me if you're going
to
be
want
happy.
6. I think 6 is possible, but I think, unfortunately, it's 5. I don't like Buffalo. I don't like Pittsburgh.
I don't mind the end of that trip.
But
you might be
Problem is that it's the end of the trip. You better get off to a
the
good
end
start.
of the trip.
You need
That's
true.
momentum.
I feel like if you could get 3 or 4 points out of those first 3 games, you're in good shape.
afternoon game in Detroit. Last game of the trip. Don't love it.
News fest.
The Rasmus Anderson hit by a truck date on the calendar. Last year it was in Detroit.
Eric's excited. No, I think it's 5.
Okay.
I'm going to say 5, and I hope I'm wrong by 1 or 2.
That is the glass half empty. You'd
No,
love more than 6.
I think Pittsburgh. I think the Penguins win. I think Buffalo wins.
And then
Buffalo.
maybe pick up a loser point in a couple
last night.
They also play the Rangers. That's a cup contender this year. I believe that.
Okay. Well, I guess.
Well, okay. So I've blabbed enough.
6. I think it
6?
has to be 6.
I'm saying 6 or 7. I got good vibes about this. This is the right time to get on the road, and none of these teams are that good. None of them are that bad, except Columbus. But I don't see this isn't like going through
terrible?
Jersey and Madison Square Garden here.
Or is Columbus terrible?
Yes, probably.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't be as bad as last. Well, maybe they could. And they were really, really bad last year.
What are they doing in net? Is it Elvis?
They got Elvis, and then they have the Tarasov kid, and then they claimed Spencer Martin off waivers from Vancouver a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what the hell they're doing in that.
Adam Fantilli is fun to watch, but I don't know.
Very young. And they got the
Johnson.
Pretty face.
Alex
Johnson.
Teche back, the Frenchman who was in the player assistance program all last year.
Giggle in her tongue.
Make the world go round. How did we get Chantilly lacing? What happened there?
Do we get in trouble for singing?
How did we get to Chantilly Lace?
How did we get there?
Fantilli. Yeah.
Oh, Fantilli.
Did they call him the Big Bopper?
Yes.
Sure, there's a nickname.
Come on.
Hey, Bopper. It's the Bopper.
Good little slate on Hockey Night in Canada, fellas. We get Connor Bedard after starting against Sid and then going to play in Boston. He now gets Montreal on a Saturday night. How fun's that going to be?
Ole, ole, ole.
I mean, the kid, they didn't accidentally do the schedule like this, I'm guessing. They want their young star right into the big markets on the bright stages immediately.
Didn't they have how many views that opening game he got?
Yeah, in the States.
Yeah.
Destroyed opening night ratings.
Biggest ratings for anything other than a outdoor game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A regular season matchup.
And look, it's Chicago. That's a huge market that when the team's interesting, it's a big, big hockey market. You get lots of eyeballs. And
I want to go to Chicago, but Rhett has me all flustered.
Rhett told you couldn't go to New York anymore 2 years ago, and I think New York's probably wonderful. He's been a bunch since then. I feel like you just got to stay in the nice spots.
Go to Soldier Field, watch the Bears get rolled up, go and watch Bedard.
Google
have a hot dog or two.
Just Google search some videos.
There's a lot of murders there. I get it.
We're very polite, though. We don't run in those type of circles, Rhett.
They don't care where you're from. If you go on that fancy, magnificent mile, I think they have most of the stores. The windows are all boarded up. And
really?
Yeah.
So is the Viagra Triangle still okay?
Oh yeah, Margaret.
We'll go there.
Yeah.
Gotta be willing to risk something.
So Saturday we have the Connor in Montreal. Saturday we have the Calgary starts the road trip against Sid and Carlson and company. And also we get the rematch of Vancouver Edmonton, which was you ate to see it if you're an Oilers fan, don't you? 8-1 setback. Brock Besser just needs 14 goals to get to last year's total. That's a good one. It's a Mad Rose day, fella, and I believe Saturday kid friendly at Mad Rose Pub in Royal Oak. 20 beers on tap. Get a little hockey going. And it's not nonsense pub food. This is legit top shelf. Some of the best pizza you'll find in the city, if not the best. The wings, fried, then baked. Are you kidding me? And Saturday's going to be a gem. All those games. Visit their website to take out or order online. Madrose.pub, 15 Royal Vista Place. Signature sauce.
I love this. Pinder doing the hosting stuff.
Yeah, well,
this is a fucking cakewalk sitting here. Jesus Christ, this how easy it is. Just sit and let.
How's your boomer report coming? We got 21 items in the Pinder report.
Oh, gee, look at the time.
Yeah, man, got a Strathmore coming up, man.
Yeah.
Check them out Saturday or any day of the week. Every night there's a special there at Mad Rose Pub. And we had reports yesterday from the Wolverine and our boy Anthony from Village Honda.
I saw that.
Is it kibitzing? Is that the word?
Yeah.
Tete-a-tete?
Frolicking?
Mad Rose. I saw the tweet. Most started watering. Not fair.
Yeah.
Not
that sounds like baked and fried. That sounds like your weekend.
Baked and fried.
That's Friday.
I mean,
is it fried and then baked or baked and then fried? Which one is it?
I think it's kid hockey, baked, hockey night in Canada. I'm a fun guy. And
you're a fun guy. Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad you're here for this, Dino. Before you disappear, Randy Bachman tonight at Grego Resort and Casino. Tonight. How about this? $59.99 plus applicable fees. And yeah, of course, the Guess Who and Bachman Turner Overdrives, Randy Bachman, who's going to haul ass tonight at the Grey Eagle.
Well, I tell everybody this story. It's like, oh, geez, I hear this. It was the flood relief concert at McMahon Stadium. Do you remember that one? Nickelback was there, Corb Lund. They had a whole bunch of Canadian artists that came out and played this fundraiser or whatever it was, raising money for flood relief. And Randy Bachman was one of the guys. So he comes out and I forget, Bubba Baby Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, playing the songs and whatever. And then he starts into starts playing Taking Care of Business. Now, this is one of those songs, if you said you've heard it enough for the rest of your life, probably, right? It gets played a lot. We've all heard it a lot. You hear that sumbitch live, you're getting out of your chair. You can't help yourself. It's like a Pavlovian dog thing. It's like the place was jumping to Taking Care of Business. The event center will absolutely come alive tonight with Randy Bachman. He's awesome.
And I'm disappointed you weren't in studio today because we had a little school with young man Jack. Again, bit of a age difference between young Jack and us grumpy old dads. He's like, the Randy Bachman thing. Are we doing that on the show today? I'm like, oh, no, you didn't. Dean, you know what to do. Please. And so, we're hooked up to the TV here. We're digital in here. And he knew all the words to all the songs. He just hadn't really figured it out yet. We listened to 3 or 4 of the BTOs or the Guess Who and say, oh, yeah.
And he'll be doing the Guess Who stuff too, right? I got some no sugar tonight in my coffee, no sugar tonight in my tea. No time left for you. No time left for you.
Tickets on sale now, Ticketmaster.ca for all events at the Grey Eagle. And Daryl, what are you saying? Oh, what is with all the coaches in the chat? Can you throw that
we got Woodcroft, we got Sutsy.
We've proven ourselves.
Randy Bachman used to babysit my son. What are we talking about,
I don't
Daryl?
understand what he's Daryl. Jesus.
What are you talking about, Daryl?
Daryl's in the sauce already.
Sober up, D.
Why aren't you in like the Dominican on a beach, Daryl? You're making $8 million to not work the next 2 years.
Back whiskeys.
This isn't calving season. Get the hell out of Dodge. Get some sun. Stay out of our comments.
Is this
on Daryl?
Disturbing that my leg is up here like this?
It's good flexibility. I got to go get an X-ray on my hip.
I need a chair.
What's up with your hip?
This chair is terrible.
I've had a bad hip for a long time, boys.
You're a creaky old chair, aren't you?
Yeah.
Let's do the Pinder Report.
You need to settle down. Oh, you're very tight. You're very tight. Dean, you better calm down. Relax.
Relax, Dean. I found that guy's business card in my pants.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Village Honda in the Northwest Auto Mall and online at villagehonda.com. New in-stock inventory on the ground, arriving daily. And yes, start your automotive adventures right there at Village Honda. Vehicle pricing is MSRP. Also, lots of used selection in their dealer group, Dean. Over 400 vehicles at their fingertips for you. It's your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. Worth the trip. Village Honda in the Northwest Auto Mall. And we'll see Anthony tomorrow at that Cavs game. Pinder Report, we start with, look at those Flames lines we already saw, so we'll move ahead to, what's going on in Flames Nation? What's everyone buzzing about? What's the talk of the town? Well, it's got to be Jacob Markstrom, Dean, after an incredible opening night performance. If you wanted to see one guy bounce back, that he probably topped the list, although there's a few other candidates. That was a good opening night for Jakob or Jacob.
If he wants to give the middle finger to everybody, us included,
Yes.
that criticized him and wondered if he could win big games and all sub 900, this and that. If he wants to tell us all to take a long walk off a short pier, I'll do it.
Yeah,
you go and be fine, son. You get back to that 925. Do it.
To be fair,
I'll eat, bro. Don't mind.
We all want to see the bounce back. We all think he's due for at least some regression, and we all wondered what the hell was going on. And then the moment his kid popped out, he looked like Jacob Markstrom again.
Well, see, there's another one. People, they will accept a middle finger. I think the fan base, I think the media, all the critics, everyone, Jakob will gladly. There you go.
Go Birds.
Show us that we're a bunch of idiots.
Please do. Please do.
Go ahead.
As for the Penguins, let's look at their lines. It is a star-laden group, but one that missed the playoffs for the first time since Rhett was playing. Gensel, Crosby, Rust up top. Riley Smith, the Cup champ from Vegas, he came over playing with Malkin and Ricky Rax. That's Rickard Raquel. And then, there sure are some guys there that you may or may not have heard of.
It's freaking Lars Eller.
Jansen Harkins, Jurgens Lotion, Harky Jarky.
They yanked him off the Jets.
A little waiver claim there.
Well, Todd's boy.
Nola Chari, seen him around, bouncing around. Jeff Carter still getting paid. That was a mistake from Ron Hextall. Top two lines scare the turds out of you, though, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
There's some talent there.
And their power play?
Both
just
units.
Shut up, right?
You mean the Letang power play unit or the Carlson power play unit?
Yeah, either way. The Hall of Fame power play unit that they can throw out there.
Saturday, 5 o'clock, the opener of 5 in a row on the road. We move to, we got another Flames item. Number 9. What's item number 9? Pull it up.
Number 9.
It is game day for the Calgary Wranglers. The AHL season underway. Dustin Wolf's attempted a third. He'd rather not win a third straight goal of the year. He'd rather be up here by Christmas or sooner, wouldn't he? They start against the Moose, or the Mooses, or the Meese. The Mice? On the road. 6 o'clock tonight, free on AHLTV.com. All right. Good. Other news, Bills game, some celebrity sightings. Not Rhett, who was not there, but a few other people you may know of who was in the house for the Sabers season opener. Let's take a peek. Jack was getting some. Oh my goodness! It's Damar Hamlin.
Hyundai, it's your journey on every mile in a brand new Hyundai.
Hamlin.
Man, if that doesn't get you pumped.
Damar Hamlin in the house.
Pretty cool.
Banging the big Sabers drum.
And he played, I believe, week 3 or 4, got back on the field for the first time, right? What an incredible story. And that guy's always on the field. And is he playing the field or is that his new squeeze? Jack, what's the update on Josh Allen there?
I believe that is his girlfriend,
Oh.
Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Actress, singer.
Yeah. She's talented. Very talented.
Very talented.
And is that a Tuck jersey, 89, or is it Powers?
Sure it is.
Power? What's 89 there, Rhett?
That's Tuck.
That is Tuck. Okay, because he's a local guy. That makes sense. I like Tuck's a good jersey pick in there. Don't mind
What do these girls see in these Bills quarterbacks?
I think he makes 25. I could ask the shoveler.
These brunettes, they love these Bills QBs.
Shoveler!
Oh, jeez.
Now
we need some insight here.
Some show prep.
Yeah. So what is the deal with quarterback? Why are they so attractive?
Don't do that.
Why can't you keep your hands off a quarterback? Hypothetically.
You can't touch a quarterback these days. You'll get flagged.
The rules, just 15 yards. We're going to talk about Origin Brewing and Maltco in a moment, but this is AJ Dillon of the Packers, and apparently some obscene hour in the middle of the night, and his fantasy owners are getting pissed because what's he doing? Sterling would love this, dude. Check this out. I didn't know you could do this. This is a video game where you can harvest.
My kids love this.
Oh, it's great.
That's AJ Dillon, the running back for the Packers.
Yeah, man. I love it.
Stop it. Go to bed. I need 10 points from you on Sunday.
See, Dean, there's better things that you could be doing with your time when you wake up.
I've played that one, and there's one where you can cut lawn.
This is soothing, too. Listen to the music. Jack, pull that up again. This is very soothing.
Yeah, because you plant
Oh,
the
yeah.
crops and you're balancing your budgets, and are you
It's
buying
harvest.
new equipment? When are you combining? Do you wait for better weather? Is it raining? You got
What's the
So
moisture
does Sterling
level?
play this game, or is he like, that's not a game, that's outside my front
Yeah,
door,
that's
I don't
life.
need to be playing this?
yeah.
It does seem relaxing. When the
It's
harvest
very
is good,
relaxing.
I guess. Yeah. Too wet, too dry. Get that harvest in.
Mm-hmm.
So AJ Dillon, we'll see how he looks this weekend. It's not quite the Kyler Murray Call of Duty level concern, but
No.
okay. Last note on the NFL. I thought this was funny. We'll play it and see if you guys like it as well. I do like this video montage too. This apparently is the New Orleans Saints and Seattle Seahawks laughing about the Russell Wilson, Sean Payton compensation for the Denver Broncos. As I believe it was 3 players and 4 picks just for Russell Wilson alone. Noah Fant, one of them, 2 firsts and a second rounder. And yeah, they also gave up all kinds of assets to get Sean
Hundreds
Payton
of
in
millions of dollars. Yeah.
for, Anyway, a good shot at the Broncos there. We'll move to Major League Baseball. Remember when Frank was on yesterday? Said you don't go poking the bear. You don't take runs at Gretzky in the media. Well, taking a run at Bryce Harper didn't work for the Atlanta Braves either. Their season is over. And how did they celebrate? In style, my friends, with Attaboy Harper t-shirts. How good is this? So apparently that was the chirp from the Braves early in this series. And it was 3 straight after losing the first, or was it they split in Atlanta? And then they're not going back to Atlanta. They cleaned it up at home, ring the bell. Phillies are moving on. Love to see it.
Did you see the home run?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. That's good stuff.
Ranking them.
Nick Castellanos again with more home runs. Impressive
Well, he
stuff.
made the record books. First guy ever to hit 2 home runs in back-to-back games.
I should have put it in the Pinder Report. There was a post-game interview with him. He said, Nick, did you know you're the first back-to-back? Or did he say, did you know? He's like, you are. And he's just like, yeah, where's the question? Oh, well, how does it feel? Yeah, it feels good. We got 8 wins to go. Like,
And that's a 104 win Braves team.
Well, here it is. Here's your list. So who's left? The final 4. Let's take a peek. So we know
Sneak a peek.
ALCS, NLCS,
104.
but who didn't get there? 104 win Atlanta, 101 win Baltimore, 100 win Dodgers, 99 win Rays, 92 win Milwaukee Brewers. This tournament's fun, but it is a crapshoot, fellas. It is 3 teams with 1 more win than the Blue Jays and 1 team with 5 fewer wins than the Blue Jays in their final 4. That just feels weird.
Man, you'd have a hard time sleeping for a while when you have
Atlanta?
104 wins. Or what? I mean, you win 100 ball games.
Yeah.
And you don't make the championship series.
Well, and worse than that, Dodgers got swept. Baltimore got swept. Tampa got swept. Those are 99, 100, 101 win teams. Jeez. There it is.
That's not what you would have picked for sure. That's a
No. And it's a reminder.
graphic.
It's get hot. It's not who was the best over the last 6 months. Diamondbacks. I watched a series in Toronto. They were awful. They lost all 3 to Toronto. God.
Seravalli's still drunk right now. He was at the game last night.
Good for him.
Yeah, I was texting him this morning. How's it going? So,
There's your bracket. Yeah. Not the final 4 many would have predicted. 2 wild card teams in the National League. 1 and 2. 1 of 2 in the AL. Wild.
and what is that? 7 or 8 championship series in a row for Houston?
Houston's just there every year. Yeah. I think the pedigree is what you lean into here. It's like all these guys have been on this stage before. No one's going to get stage fright.
I saw Verlander talking about it, and he was kind of describing you hear about it all the time. He said, there's a culture here.
Yeah.
Some guys, they're here, they leave, but the culture and the identity remain regardless of who's in that clubhouse.
Here's your schedule. Sunday, we open with the Battle of the State of Texas in Houston. Then Monday, the NLCS gets going. Houston, Texas will have an off day on Tuesday while they play game 2 between Philly and Arizona. Philly gets home field for that. How exciting is that for Frank and company?
So will much of the country in the U.S., they'll just not give a shit about this now? It's 2 Texas teams. It's Arizona and then 1 East.
I don't think so.
Eastern
There's
team.
lots of star power there.
It's baseball. What are you talking about? Nobody's going to care. Come on.
No, there's lots of stars. Like you got Harper's one of your most marketable players in the game. You've got, Verlander, as you noted.
No one cares about the Diamondbacks, and I don't
No,
think people
they would
care
be the
about
least
Texas. And if they're going to watch for the Houston, it's probably to see if they can lose.
Dallas ain't a small market. I think there are certainly much worse Final Fours. And Milwaukee, I think people would care way less than Texas. Not that they're in the same side, but we'll see. I don't mind it. It's not going to be boring. And it feels like everyone's got to be feeling the Phillies mojo at this point, right? How do you not feel like if you're going to jump on a bandwagon, that's the one, right?
No, whatever.
I'm sure. From Phillies.
I'm
actually checking. I'm looking. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're at
What's
New York.
what's driving distance?
Thinking that we're idiots. We should have went to Philly with Frank, watched the game, and then went to watch the Eagles. But they're not at home.
How long to get to Philly?
Not far.
Like 4 or 5 hours drive?
I'd fly.
Yeah, you would. Should have flown.
So would you?
It's harder to fly from
Can
here.
you imagine if we'd all gone watch the Phillies beat Atlanta with Frank?
Would have been awesome.
And then
They got another series. Let's find a date.
Go watch the Eagles play. They're
Yeah.
not at home though.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
They good.
They're home for a bit yet. They don't have a bye till I think week 9 or 10.
Calvary FC at home this weekend as well. We'll hear from Nick Ledgerwood later in the program. Promise that today. Promise that. There's your bracket. Calvary and Forge. Winner goes right to the final. Loser goes to the semifinal. And we'll get the winner of Halifax and Pacific. Let's go, fellas. At home.
So what do you win for this? You got a plate for the other, like what's
It's a trophy. So you can get the plate and the trophy.
Oh, is
it's
it?
the double. Let's do it.
Lovely goblet, Dean.
It's a goblet. Okay.
Some silverware.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could win the regular season and the playoffs, it'd be the first time that's happened in the 5-year history of the CPL.
Rich history, yeah.
That's right. And then when Messi comes to Echo Field. Okay.
Hey, Retro. Will you come here to watch Macy?
Yes. And Miss.
Will you come here to watch the Saskatchewan Roughriders, of whom you could name zero yesterday on the show?
Waiting for the Riders to come to Hamilton. Come on.
That's fair. Game day tonight, late one at McMahon, 7:30 kickoff.
That's not late. Late one.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 7:30. It's later than normal, but yes, that's fine.
Is this the regular season?
It's a Friday night. You want it this time. This is good.
Week 19.
Oof.
You're boring, everybody.
No, come on.
Oh,
Jeez. Come on, Jack.
I haven't even shown the standings yet. We're boring you already? You're going to hate this. Here are the standings. It's just good they're in the thick of a playoff hunt, just right there fighting for a 4-11. Jesus.
Ooh, that's bad.
Dave.
Yeah, that is bad, Dave.
Dave.
Dave, you better phone us.
The Battle of the Dickinson. Dave needs some barn burner karma.
We need some.
Remember when I had to help him out a couple of years ago?
Yes, you did.
God.
Yeah.
What'd you tell him? Just get blasted and figure it out tomorrow? Something like
Chill
that?
out, man. It's like
Really
that guy told
sacrifice.
Dean the other day. You gotta relax.
You gotta relax, man. You're very tight. Dave.
Dave, baked and fried. Let's go.
You need to relax, Dave.
It's legal up here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be there tonight.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll see you there.
for asking. Yep. See
But
you,
I mean,
see you at the
by
dump.
all means, don't wait. Have kickoff and start the game if I'm not there yet.
Yeah, he's
don't-
probably
don't-
just in one
I
of the
again
bathroom
have a
stalls
flight.
or lined
If I
That's
if I
right,
get
yeah.
on it, I'll be there.
Jack, I mean, he's a little sheepish about some things because, like, he's still sending me every single day Matt Canada content. But he
Jack
can't have it on the
like
show. He
sheepish
doesn't want
about it.
this Matt Canada slander in the public sphere. But he did sort of cell phone himself a bit. He sent me this photo that his buddy took at. Is that the Grey Eagle, Dean? Because I think you have to wear a shirt in there, Jack.
Come
What are we
on.
doing?
No, it's good luck to go tarps off.
Tarps off.
Yeah, it's like blowing on the dice, ripping your tarp off. Let's
Yes.
go.
Well, especially when you're on a heater.
Yeah,
I can't
listen,
put my shirt on
I'm
now.
a heater here. Get it. Don't even tell me about my shirt.
I'm up 12. I'm up $1,200 without the shirt. I'm not putting it on now.
If the bells are whistling and dinging and humming and all that, you just keep doing what you're doing. And that is a deep, deep, deep short there. That is almost a pant. It's so long of a short.
What is that?
That's Jack at the Grey Eagle.
I know it is.
They
I'm just
asked him
wondering,
to put his shirt back on.
are those shorts for an incredibly large man or are
Yes.
they pants for a very short man?
Those are very, very baggy clam diggers or jorts. I don't know.
I don't know what he's got going there.
And then this was younger when Jack, before he'd cut his hair, big workout guy. Jack goes to the gym usually every day.
Oh, all the time.
And I honestly, I'm surprised he's not in a wheelchair after seeing this from a couple of years ago from Jack. Very scary stuff, guys. Hold your breath here.
Oh.
Get those tattoos removed too. Oh no! Oh,
Look at the see flexibility, sit and reach.
Oh,
Sit and reach.
man.
Sit reach.
He was practicing.
Sit reach.
Sit and reach.
I knew it wasn't going to go well.
Bob? Is that Jay?
The moment that video started and he was wearing a toque, I said, "This isn't going to go well. You don't work out with a toque."
That is Jay from
Crocs
Jay
on.
and Silent Bob.
Oh,
Sit and reach.
Got to work on
You
that.
just
buddy.
had the wrong exercise, Pinder. You thought he was doing a clean and jerk.
he
He's
was
doing the sit and
confused for
reach.
sure. Anyway, just glad to have you mobile and in here today, Jack.
Snatch. He was doing
Be
the
careful,
snatch,
Jack.
but he turned into a clean and jerk.
That is your Pinder Report. We're sorry. Village Honda up in the Northwest Auto Mall, villagehonda.com, your dealership for life. Dino.
I do like that he bounced up.
He did
It's
look
nothing.
good.
No, what? Oh,
It's
take a look
when
around to see
Dean-
if anybody saw. What? Oh, hey, how
when
you doing?
Dean
Yeah,
wiped out on the ice walking his dog.
No, I don't need a spotter. No, I'm good. I'm all right.
Daryl liked how his hair was okay.
Big D.
Thanks,
I didn't
guys.
know Jay lifted.
I had no idea.
Okay, Dino, when are
Yeah.
you leaving us here? You got because you said something about Strathmore, and that
Yeah,
ties in
we got,
nicely to something we got going on.
You got to go out there. That's a further drive. Than
No,
you
no,
thought.
no. We play. It's later, but there is another thing. I got about 10 minutes.
So can we swap that game so you can get to Strathmore? Because you got to go to the tap room for Origin Brewing and Malt & Co.
Sure,
You've
right.
been in
So
there?
yes, we're
Actually,
definitely going to Strathmore
just
today.
Trips out
Tell
to
him-
Strathmore.
Tell them we
Just-
got to reschedule this. We'll find some ice in Strathmore.
Yep.
Get the kids on the ice and settle in for some delicious beer.
You know what
Right.
sucks?
Tell me,
My trips to Saskatoon now.
what's that?
Because you
You gotta
got
stop
stop
in
in Strathmore and
Yeah.
well shit.
Yeah.
I guess we'll leave tomorrow.
I was gonna have one. Now I need to find out if there's a motel in Strathmore.
The homegrown lager.
Hell yeah. From the Hiltons, a fifth generation group of farmers, family farm for 5 generations. They've been growing the best barley in the world for over 40 years. And suddenly a light went on, Dino, and they said, why are we selling the best barley? Let's use it and make some delicious beer. Hence Origin Brewing and Malt & Co. They're on side with us here on Barn Burner. They've got the homegrown lager, the Mexican lager. Oh, the Mexican lager is so good. Pioneer IPA, the Lazy Days Haze IPA, and the Rockyford Raspberry, Prickly Pear Guava Gosa, Backdraft Red Ale, and the Last Post Brown Ale. Do you have a favorite, Dino? I feel like you're a homegrown lager guy.
You know what? I like the Mexican lager. I'm kind of with you.
Yeah, it's a gooder.
I do have some here in my place of residence. I'm gonna really get around the Rockyford Raspberry to see what it's all about this weekend.
It's a gooder. It's a rock solid part of the portfolio there. And if you like IPAs, you're gonna love their IPAs, whether it's the Pioneer or the hazy IPA that they do. It's phenomenal stuff.
You know, the other thing that they have that we haven't really talked about, I know we talk about their beer and all that. They've got this hard iced tea.
Oh God, is that good?
I could drink about 100 of those things.
That is dangerous stuff. Yes.
so good.
Yeah, the RTD category, the ready to drink.
That's right.
Those are not messing around. Check it all out at their tap room, 60 Spruce Park Drive in Strathmore, where you've got that rescheduled game just down the road.
We're going out there. I mean, get ready. We're going to give you some lead time.
Yeah.
But we're going to do a show out there. We're going to do
We need a bus.
we're going to have a deal. We're going to have hotel rooms booked.
Got more of that there.
Damn right.
They're
We had a
also big
stack of, like, a-
advisors to AJ Dillon and his
That's right. Yeah.
video game.
Sterling's like, he's doing this all wrong. You can't be ending like that. What do you do?
Prickly Pear Gosa. Oh, don't mind if I do.
Oh, delicious. Okay. We got Betway football picks. It is Friday. I'm coming off an 0-for-3 week with mud all over my face. Jack got off the Steelers, and they actually won against the spread and straight up last week. And Dean and Rhett are tied for top spot in the standings on our football picks.
being Seward, but
We
sure.
do it
Not being
for
Seward.
Betway. 19 plus Ontario only. Bet the responsible way. Betway. Let's start with Dean. You're here before you go. We start
All
with
right.
Dino's picks. What do we like? Where are we at? How are you feeling?
Carolina at Miami.
Whoa.
That's a
Carolina
big spread.
is terrible.
They are.
gentlemen. They are terrible. Miami, they're just
Beat up.
yeah, it's a huge
They're
spread.
Beat up.
They're not beat up.
They're beat up.
Waddle, it's
Raheem
a second.
Mostert is fine. Yeah. Don't
Yeah,
worry about him.
Mostert is like the second. Was got the second most
likes
rushing
Mostert.
yards in the.
No one likes mustard.
They're fine. Carolina is the shits. Miami minus 13.5. They'll cover that. Philadelphia at the Jets. There's some love for the Jets here and some disrespect for the Eagles. You know what it is? The Eagles are winning, but they're just not winning enough in the eyes of some people.
Undefeated.
They're undefeated. They're going to play the Jets a touchdown. It's on the road. How far? Yeah. -7 for the Eagles.
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it.
That's fair.
And Washington at Atlanta.
Oof.
Atlanta gets a win last week. Bijan Robinson running the ball. They got Pitts kind of starting to get involved. Drake London's looked good. Ritter right there. Look at him. He's like a
Career game.
-2.5. Don't
Career
mind if I
game
do.
last week.
And Washington has been plucky, but if you look at the teams who they've been plucky against,
Yeah,
it's
not
not been impressive.
No.
Falcons at home, -2.5. Give me Atlanta, Philly, and Miami. Those are my point spread picks.
Dino's at 500, 6-6. So is Retro. We know he's on the Bills. Let's see the rest of his card. Is he still going back to the Dallas? Well, it's been a tough look for Dak and company.
No, I'm not going.
And no, he's not. Okay.
It's a Monday
and look at the
nighter.
spreads.
I am still of the belief that you don't pick a Monday nighter. I think you guys cheat, and it's
That's right.
BS.
Mhm.
So
Walk us through your picks, buddy.
Well, Buffalo clearly, and even more so now that Danny Dimes can't get anything done.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor, Dean, you missed it. It's going to
I
start
know.
Sunday night. 14.5 was the number before that news hit. Grab it if you can find it, unless you think Tyrod Taylor's better than Danny Dimes.
And Houston, because Houston, the Astros moved on. So all
Right.
things Houston right now. We love Texas. Let's
Really
go Houston.
inspiring. And
And I do believe that Burrow is feeling better. And
God, did he look better last week? I'll tell you that.
I got a bad feeling that the Bengals are about to put a run on, and they're not worried about Seattle. Bengals are going to crush them.
3 home teams. Don't mind that, Rhett. As a big number with Buffalo, Cincinnati to stay hot for a second straight week, and Houston over New Orleans, 6-6.
Now, I have just a quick one for me, because it's all about me.
Yep.
I'm looking at this moment on my Betway app. I have the Betway app on my phone. It's Betway.
Yep.
Bet the responsible way with Betway. I'm looking at that Eagles-Jets line. It is -6.5.
Oh, even better, Dean. Yes, please.
So I
adjust
have them
that,
at
Jack.
-7 on the grid there. But if I can get, I would like to get a -6.5 if I could right now.
We're going to give you
Jack,
that
that's
half
what it
point.
is.
We're giving
No,
you the
we're
half
not.
point. It's a live line. He can't even go bet -7 if he wants to right now. He's getting 6.5, and you love it because it's less than a touchdown. Good boy, Dean. Excellent work.
-6.5. Thank you.
So what
Retro-
was when I picked, what was the Bills line then?
No, it's the line now is what we're doing.
You
And that-
rotten bastards.
Yeah,
Cheating
we're
all
always
the
We
time.
picked them early just so Jack could put the graphic together.
Jack, smarten up.
Sometimes it goes away from me. Sometimes it goes your way. That's a nice little line move for Dino, who is on the Eagles. Okay, here's my pick. Miserable 0-3 week last week. I used to just follow the money last week. I'm not doing that. You know what I love? The Niners against a team that isn't that good. And now no Deshaun Watson. It's official. PJ Walker. Niners. Yeah, I'll lay 9.5. No sweat. They will win on the road and cover. Minnesota's without Justin Jefferson, as Dean knows very well with fantasy. And Fields and DJ Moore might have found something the last couple of weeks. They've looked really good offensively. I'll take Chicago +3 at home in a divisional game. And I'm going the opposite way as Rhett. I don't think the Astros are inspiring the Texans. I think they're inspiring the Saints. Huge Astros fans in New Orleans. So I like New Orleans on the road.
It's the fact that the
to lay
Astros are in,
1.5.
it's taken all the pressure off.
We'll
for
see who's
the-
right.
For the Houston Oilers. So
I need a good week here. This is ugly stuff. 0-3. Yuck. And Jack, is he back?
who cares?
No.
Thank God they have a bye
Are
week.
they in a bye? Okay,
yeah,
there we
I
go.
need to let me reevaluate for another week here.
Okay.
I'm also on Chicago. Ever since they got rid of Claypool, they look a lot better on offense. Minnesota, no Jefferson. Chicago +3. Also with Boomer. Miami -13.5. Carolina is horrible.
Yeah.
Dolphins can move the ball super easily, score lots of points. And then I'm on the Rams at home, -7. Cooper Kupp came back last week, looked awesome. Rams -7.
I looked hard at that, but Arizona's just been a thorn. And even against San Fran, they ended up losing by like 19 or something. But for a while, they were in it. I think the Rams win this. 7 just feels a little big.
Well, lucky we can ask you because you've been so good at this.
See, you go against my gut. You're going to make some money. We told you. You'd be 8-4 going against my picks so far.
I feel so good about that 6.5 because at 7, I was, geez, 6.5. Really like that pick now. Really like the Eagles.
Watch them win by 24, and you're like, yeah, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Those are our Betway picks. Also, we got hockey going on. We got playoff baseball. Check the app. Get on your phone. Betway, bet the responsible way. 19 plus, Ontario only. You know the drill, fellas.
Who's favored on Saturday in that Flames game? Do we know? Have we looked that far ahead?
Pittsburgh plays tonight against Washington, so the line might not be out, but it does indicate, of course, that Pittsburgh will be playing the second half of a back-to-back. Don't mind that from the Flames' perspective. You get Ovi Crosby for like the 66th time in the regular season tonight. Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
Not often you get on a 5-game roadie and you're catching teams on back-to-backs.
And Philly.
Yeah.
And Philly. Oh, Matty Phillips. Yeah. Gotcha.
Phillips, yeah. Well, man.
That's been great.
Philly,
good to see you.
Say hi to Sterling when you get out in Strathmore, the boys at Origin, would you?
Don't mind if I do. Have a little prickly pear guava gosa.
Oh.
2 points. Big win.
If you see it, fellas, go grab it in your liquor store. And if you don't, ask people running it what the hell they're doing. Because it's some of the best beer made in this province. Get it in your damn store.
We talked about it like a week ago or whatever when we kind of announced that we started to partner with these guys. They have a huge farm, 17,000 acres. And they could take all of this barley and then they malt it. They have a whole malting processing plant. And there's a bunch of other, what's the Lagunitas in like California?
Yes.
There are breweries from North America that come to Origin to buy their malted barley. Because
exclusively theirs.
It's the best.
Only theirs. It is the best.
So what Origin does is they keep the best of the best for themselves. They malt it and then they brew their own beer. And yeah, you can have it at the tap room in Strathmore, or you can go to your liquor store and look for it. And if it's not there, ask for it. You can go to the restaurants of your choice. It might be on tap. If it's not, hey, could you get some Origin on tap? These guys are bringing it. They are growing and growing fast. And it's a cool story. We were out at their farm and we showed the video there. They care about the product. They care about the land, conservation, and all of that for the soil preservation and everything. It is an amazing story. And we're happy to be with these guys. Looking forward to it.
Ride the rocket ship with them. This is a brewery on the rise, my friends. I love it. And again, on tap at the home rink. We're going to be moving some Mexican lager kegs over at
That's terrific.
Arena. That is the best news of the fall so far. Besides my kids getting on the same team, that's the next best news, right?
And they're over at Merchants too, right? They got
Merchants. Also, the Nash in Inglewood is one of the more prominent restaurants in town. They're on tap there. It's blowing up, fellas. Get on it.
Are they at the Anchor Bar in Buffalo yet, Rhett?
Not yet.
Go in and get a homegrown lager.
I got to do some import export.
Okay, yeah, get on it.
Love it. Fellas, have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday to see how I managed to do another 0-3 week in football picks.
We have to do predictions at some point.
Can we do that Monday, Dean? The calorie-free predictions?
Sure. Yeah. Are you ready to go right now if we were to do
Not
it?
now,
No,
Monday.
it
does take. I want this to.
Well, again, we had no idea when the hockey season was starting. Bettman, they don't put out a schedule. It's just so random when it starts. So we were caught unaware. Next week.
So next week, I'll tell you 24 for Matty Phillips.
Yeah, that's right.
Bold.
We'll see you at the Cavs game if you're out there on tomorrow on the weekend. Enjoy Stamps Riders tonight. And also, there's a pair of tickets up for grabs. Check my social streams for tickets to Calvary's playoff game tomorrow. And we had a chance to sit down with assistant coach Nick Ledgerwood a couple days ago, teeing up tomorrow's playoff match. See you, fellas. Season it's been for Cavalry FC. Lucky to be joined here by the assistant coach and community manager, former player, and a man who's played for Canada 50 times, Nick Ledgerwood. Buddy, congrats.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thank you.
I guess we'll rewind a little and we'll look forward. It's a huge game this weekend against Forge, your greatest rival over the 5 years of this league, and we'll get to that. But I believe you're sort of new to the not playing and coaching side. What has this season particularly been like? Because you guys have been knocking on the door, it seems like every year for 5. And finally, there wasn't a Shield year 1. You would have had it. But you win the regular season, and it feels like Calvary's playing the best football of the last half decade.
Yeah, 100%. And it's been, it's kind of been a weird feeling in that I'm not on the field. I'm not on the pitch. I don't have direct impact on what's happening as far as the outcome on the field. But it's a strange feeling. In the last 2 years, I've almost felt like I've taken these big strides in becoming a coach and a mentor to some of these players. And you actually have more of an impact on a bigger group of players than you did just being a captain or on the field. And, I'm starting to really relish in that role of helping out a group instead of, maybe the one or two players around me on the field.
Sure. Okay. So take us back to the scenes on Saturday.
Wild.
It was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
I don't know that, you get late September, early October, you get many days like that, but it was a gorgeous day. Felt like if you're wearing pants, it was too hot for pants. What are you doing wearing pants? And you guys do beat Pacific resoundingly 3-0, I believe.
Yeah.
And then you get to raise the shield with your fans on the field. So walk me through the emotions of that, because it has been 5 years and you were with Tommy before this even started.
Yeah.
Back with the PDL side.
And it was all
a journey.
It was all a vision in the beginning. And I came to Calgary into the CPL on a vision. And that's what Tommy kind of sold me on, is this vision of what the CPL and what Calgary, Spruce Meadows, Atco Field could be.
Yeah.
And it was just a vision at that point. And it's crazy that in such, a short time, 5 years, 2 years of that being a pandemic, what we've actually achieved in this city. And I think that goes overlooked a lot of the times, especially now that we've lifted the shield. I think everything behind the scenes still goes overlooked in, what we do on the community side of it, as far as kids in camps, what we do with our ID programs. This is the first year we traveled up to Edmonton to do a camp. We did a camp in Red Deer and Banff. I mean, we're growing, and it's massive. And, to say that within 5 years, we've already put something in our trophy cabinet is massive.
Yeah.
And to do it on, like you said, a night like that, it was almost a majestic type feel to it. Late in the evening, first week in October, 24 above. It was unbelievable. Big crowd. It was packed. All the kids and fans running on the field afterwards. It was one of those things that, I'm glad so many people took pictures and videos of.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be memories forever.
Yeah, fair. So the regular season title had been wrapped up for a while, but raising it was a big thing. And I love that you went out on a winning note in the regular season. You didn't need to, but you did win your last two at home. And that has you in great form. Longest undefeated run of the season for anyone in the CPL. I think you're at 8 games without a loss. And into playoffs this weekend against Forge. The stinking rivals from Hamilton. it feels like if you have to do it, of course you have to go through Forge.
Yeah. I think you couldn't have written it any better way than to go through Forge. And it's what we want. It's what the boys want.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you want to lift that second cup. You gotta beat, the reigning champions. You got to do it, right. And they've lifted it 3 times. So now it's our turn, and the boys got a little taste of champagne in their mouth, and I'm telling you, they love it. And the biggest thing for me about this team, testament to this team, is, like you said, we already won the regular season, but we went out and we put an absolutely dominating performance on our last game in front of our fans. We didn't have to.
In a big game for Pacific.
Big game. Yeah, it was a massive. Pacific had to win for seeding, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like their season was done. But I think that just shows the character and the mentality of this group this year. And it's been unbelievable. Yeah.
3 p.m. Saturday, Atco Field at Spruce Meadows, Cavalry Forge. This is interesting. The playoff has changed a bunch. The trophies have changed. What gets rewarded and what doesn't has changed. The league's 5 years old, and there's been 2 that have been affected by a pandemic. I get it. Regular season title has been won. There is a 5-team playoff, and you guys are the 1 seeds. You can lose and still be in this tournament, or you can win and jump right to a semifinal. What do you think of the format?
It's grown on me. When it first came out, I was like, really, we're doing this? But it's grown on me. And I think it's grown on me because of what we're doing in this country for soccer and the growth of it. It's given now 5 teams a bite at the cherry, which is a little bit more. It keeps more fans engaged. There's more home teams or home games, for those teams. And the first place gets rewarded with another bite at the cherry with it. So I like it. I like the nuances in it. I like that first team gets rewarded a little heavier. 4th and 5th, they got to go through the gauntlet pretty much to win it. So I don't mind it. I don't
Mhm.
mind it. We'll see how it kind of pans out. I'll tell you in 2 weeks if I
Sure.
really like it.
You're chasing the double, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be something magical. It would be the first ever because there hasn't been a regular season shield
Yeah.
until this year, which I think was good that they did. It also has already got your ticket punched to the CONCACAF Champions League or whatever it's going to be called, essentially North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. All the teams of all these national leagues that are at the very top of the table, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, MLS teams, Mexican teams, Canadian teams from the CPL will be competing in a tournament that starts next winter. How excited are the fellas for that when that was secured? I mean, that's the same tournament that Lionel Messi's going to be.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest thing. That was our goal at the beginning of the year, is to punch our ticket in this CONCACAF Champions League, because I think it does really set you apart from the rest.
Yeah.
This is the one that says, you are one of the top teams in Canada. You're going to face the top teams in the US, in Mexico, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Caribbean.
Mhm.
We have the potential, and some of the guys joke about it, but it's actually a real potential to host a team like Inter Miami,
Mhm.
who obviously
Messi.
with Messi right now, but even more historic teams like Cruz Azul, Club America, Monterrey.
Yeah.
You have some of these very big Mexican clubs that have gone on to win, the Club World Championships. We could potentially
teams that
host
play at Azteca,
them, Azteca
100,000
Stadium.
people.
Yeah, like when I sit back and realize that we could actually bring one of those teams to Calgary for a competitive match, not a friendly match, because there's always been talk about bringing a big team here for a friendly competition. No, this is part of a tournament.
Yeah.
Something where we belong in now.
Incredible. That's it's quite a season. Take me back to 5 ties in a row out of the gate. I know it must have felt like the walls were caving in on the coaching staff. There's a lot of pressure to win.
Yeah.
There'd been a lot of close, but not quite a trophy. Looking back, you must laugh, but that had to have been a tense moment for yourself, Tommy, and the rest of the team.
Yeah, it was a test. It was a test to us as a coaching staff. And, back then we kind of joked and not joked about it, but being like, Miss Southern might come knocking on the door here pretty soon if we don't get put a W up. But what I thought was unbelievable from the coaching staff, Leon, Tommy, was we rallied together and just said, do we really believe in what we're coaching the kids? Do we really believe in the system?
Yeah.
Do we really believe in the tactics? And the answers were always yes. So for me, it was all about giving the team a little bit more time to build that foundation and trust within the system.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. After the 5 ties, we got a win, and then all of a sudden you could start seeing these little things click within the team.
Mhm.
And you could see that the foundation was built, and then we could add those nuances in what Tommy's been so great with in the tactical nuances throughout the game, or, switching how he likes to play a little bit depending on the team. But everybody bought into it. Everybody was on the same page, and everybody believed in the end process of it.
I love that. It's this weekend. Tickets are already moving well. I imagine it's been great crowds all year. I've been really impressed with that.
Yeah.
Given that, you did lose 2 years for the pandemic, you wonder how are the fans going to come back. It's been a banner season in CPL's history for attendance and what this club's done. We're also going to give away a few pairs. So here's the drill. Get on social media, Instagram or Twitter on our Flames Nation handle and look for our contesting. Tag 2 pals you want to take, and tag a pal you're going to take. It'll be 2 tickets, a few pairs we'll be giving away, and you can be this Saturday 3 p.m. at Echo Field to watch Cavalry face Forge. Nick, thanks so much for being here. Congrats on a great year so far.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time. Thanks, guys.